Welcome to Portfolio Builders Club. Take a look at some hot stocks. First, we'll start with what do we know? Right now, what we know is that the VIX is at about 1750. We know that when the VIX gets closer and closer to about 13, that the market will probably have a major pullback or some sort of flash crash just based on history. So as we start to move down, the VIX starts to move down, you're going to see the market sort of benefit from that and start to move up. But if the VIX continues to move down and gets closer to this level, then you could expect to see some sort of crash in the market overall. So that's one thing we know. The other thing we know is that tariffs are going to go into effect April 2nd. So we don't have much longer before those tariffs go into effect, which could disrupt the market and have some effect that we're not anticipating. So those are the two things that we know. There's a lot of unknowns. Things change every day, but those are the two things we know. So we have to keep that in mind as we look at these hot stocks. So let's just get started on the hot stocks. We'll start with Amazon. So Amazon, as we indicated before, that we drew this counter trend line, and we're waiting for a break of that counter trend line, and we're waiting for price to get above this 25-day moving average and above this 200-day moving average. That has occurred. So at this point, we're looking for this to continue to the upside. Now, we still are not above the 100-day moving average, so you could get some sort of consolidation here before it could break out, but we will continue to watch this. But we did get our first couple of signs here that this is starting to move up. So Amazon, we're looking at this being a value area for Amazon. So we'll see if Amazon can, now that it's starting to move up a bit, if it can continue that trend or not. Looking at a quantum computing stock, this is ARQQ. And as we look at this, again, we're above the 200-day moving average. The yellow line is the 100-day moving average, and the red and green line is the 25-day moving average. We are trending above that 25-day moving average, and we've gotten above what I call above water on the price, so we can anticipate some moves to the upside. Now, this can move very quickly. As you see, this indicates a 100% move right here. So this could move very quickly within a day. Easily, getting, 25% or 50%, it just depends. Generally, it probably would get, about 10 or 15%, up to 20% or something like that. But it could very well even explode and get 40 or 50% right away. So continue to monitor this. Again, another hot stock to watch. AVGO, Broadcom. So as we continue to watch Broadcom, it is holding support around this 200-day moving average. We are still waiting for that breakout, but we definitely want to put this on the watch list and continue to watch to see if we see that breakout. We are holding support at the 200-day moving average. Continue to watch that one. BlackRock. So BlackRock, you always hear a lot about BlackRock doing a lot of investing. I believe they invested in the Panama Canal ports there. So big company, big money. As you see, they had the dip below the 200-day moving average. They've gotten above that. They've gotten above the 25-day moving average and above our counter trend line. We are here at the 100-day moving average. So we'll see what the breakout continues to look like at this particular point. So continue to watch BlackRock. CrowdStrike, definitely on the move, well above. So we have the 200-day to 125-day moving average all in order for the continuing uptrend, and price is above that 25-day moving average. Of course, we don't know day to day if price is going to go up or down. So price could pull back and then take off. But the idea is that the momentum has started. We've started that upward momentum as we push down into the 200, and now we start this upward momentum. And the switch over, if this 25-day moving average remains green, then that's also indicating a movement to the upside. So let's just put an arrow here and see if that continues that push to the upside. Carvana. So Carvana definitely took that dip down into below the 200-day moving average. It was underwater for a little while. Has now established a clear breakout from that level. Within one day, it really moved from that 200-day moving average past the 25-day and up to this 100-day moving average and beyond. So we'll have to continue to watch this to see if, now that it's above all the levels, of course, we still need our 25-day moving average to continue to move up. But as long as we're trending above that, we're looking at about 35% move back to previous highs. Okay, we'll go to DEFTF, and again, similar sort of movement down and back up and above our moving averages. So we'll continue to watch that to see if that continues to the upside. Another hot pick there. Duolingo. So this is really looking well. Duolingo has done well over time. If you look at Duolingo and some of the times that it's gotten into the 200-day moving average and what it's been able to do. Right now you had a lot of strong momentum to the upside, and this was definitely a major pullback, but it is recovering very swiftly. Now, one of the things that we have to monitor would be this gap here. So here's the gap. All right, and typically when you have a gap, let's just give it a template here. Let's see, gap. Okay. So it's, what I refer to these as is a gap pivot zone. Generally, we have a gap. Some people say, oh, you fill the gap and you keep going up, that sort of thing. But sometimes with these gaps, the first time you come into them, you hit them as a pivot zone. So one thing we'll have to monitor is this midpoint here to see if it can get above that midpoint as well. Or will it pull back and have some movement, and then eventually break through and go up to the upside. Of course, any gap that you have to the upside of price can always be filled in a way because price could always just go higher, So, but the gaps generally indicate some sort of pivot point, and we'll see if we can get above that. So right now, our closer target would be about 350 for the price. That's about $10 from where we are now. But ultimately, we want to see it break through that and see where it goes from there. So continue to monitor that. But another hot pick, FICO. FICO's looking good. It had a double, well, it looks like a triple bottom really into that 200-day moving average. Now it's moving up, is moving up above those moving averages. So as long as it stays above this 25-day moving average, then we're looking at positive territory. Let's see how far we are from previous highs here to here roughly. Yeah, let's just make it a cool 25%. So 25% move incoming. Looks like that's $481. So on the option side, that might be very substantial. All right, so let's go to Fannie Mae. And Fannie Mae has made some dips here, and we're just drawing counter trend line breaks. And once it makes those counter trend line breaks, it typically goes back. It has been having trouble getting above this roughly $8 level. So we'll have to continue to monitor that. General Motors. So General Motors, definitely a dip in the 200-day moving average, has started to push up. You see this long-term sort of uptrend. You see what happened previously when it dipped in. Of course, we spent a lot of time below this 200-day moving average, but now we're moving up. The 25-day moving average is starting to curl up as well. So we're looking for that roll back up to the upside. We got a lot of momentum right now. Let's take a look at percentage-wise from where we are. Previous highs, maybe 13% roughly. So continue to watch that. Another hot pick. Let's go to GME. So GME was a hot pick as well. Looks like it's really running this morning. Wow, it's got like a 13% gap this morning, but it was on our hot picks list. So as you see, you got that similar breakout above the 200-day moving average, above the 25-day moving average. It was sitting here on the 100-day moving average. So as of today, it looks like it's jumping up. So we'll have to continue to monitor this and see where we go. Let's just take a look at the distance after the gap. Let's see. It's about 19% away from high. So with this gap, you could expect it maybe to drop and fill that a little bit, drop down, using that gap as a pivot zone to drop into it and then push back up. So maybe you can get 25% to these previous highs here, but who knows what could happen with GME once folks realize they see major movement in the GME. I believe it had earnings. So looks like the earnings are good. So you could even get more explosive with it. Let's just draw another. Let's see. We'll go from the gap all the way up to previous highs. That's almost 100%. Maybe you could get 100% out of that. That's $32. So let me just make this 100 roughly. Okay. So that's sort of the potential for GME, but another hot pick. Let's look here. Hood. So Hood is looking really well. We dipped down in between the 100 and 200-day moving average. That was a value area for us. And now we see our moving averages have maintained their positions with the 25, 100, and 200-day being in that order. And price is now above the 25-day moving average. So we continue to monitor that to see if it will continue up. I guess from the bottom all the way up, it looks like about 83% move there for Hood. So looking good there. IonQ, quantum computing. Here we are at an early push up from the 200-day moving average. This double bottom here looks really nice. We've pushed up into the 25-day moving average, not above the 100-day moving average just yet, but the potential here is the 100% move back to all-time highs. So depending on how long that might take, that's still 100% move to all-time highs. And we still think it's early for quantum computing overall. So, this could be a blip on the screen, give it 5 years, So let's see how that goes. All right, JP Morgan Chase, always a good one to follow. As you see, that dip into the 200-day moving average has resulted in this major push up. The 25-day did maintain its position above the 100-day moving average. We're above that at this point. It doesn't mean that price won't dip some, but this is strong momentum for this to occur. So if price does dip a bit, but eventually continues on, right now we're about 11% from previous highs. All right, let's go to Meta. Looking at Meta, you have the same thing, very strong momentum back up to the upside. Now we still need to break through a little bit more here, but as far as this downtrend, it appears to have been broken. So we'll have to see if we get a little bit of consolidation or anything that eventually takes us up to the upside for Meta. Hot pick again. Netflix, definitely a hot pick. Never count Netflix out. Netflix just continues to perform and move. So here we got to the 100-day moving average, definitely a value area for us. All the way down even to the 200-day moving average would have been a value. But moving averages have maintained their positions, very strong momentum. We got above the 25-day moving average. We moved into this price target of $1,000. So we'll see how it performs at this level. But otherwise, everything's looking really positive for Netflix. PANW, here's another one looking very well. Breakout had a couple pushes down into the 200-day moving average. We are having some trouble getting above this 208 level. So even as price starts to become positive here, we will still have to monitor that to see if it can break through that particular level. We've had a couple of attempts here and we've really failed all of those. So we'll have to see what happens as it moves back toward that particular level. But the idea here is that we would expect this to continue to the upside. And we are about, let's just make it a cool 10%, maybe closer to 9. Let's make it 9% away from these previous highs here. So that's about $17. So on the option side, that might be pretty decent. Moving back up that way. Palantir. So PLTR, we'll look at this. And again, our moving average. So the momentum is the main thing. So our momentum has been definitely positive and strong to the upside. We really haven't gotten below the 100-day moving average very much. So once it hit that 100-day moving average, that was the value area. And we've continued up, and the moving average is in the proper order here. And we'll just continue that move up. So we're looking at about 37% move back to previous highs. All right. QBTS, another quantum computing stock. We had a couple of bounces on the 100-day moving average. We are having trouble at this $11.45 level, $12 level. So we'll have to monitor to see what happens. Right now, we did hit that $12 level again and sort of reject. So we'll see if we can gain some more support at the 25-day moving average and then eventually break through that. But again, it could be early for quantum computing. We'll take a look at quantum, QTUM, Defiance. And similar thing, 100-day moving average support, and we're dabbling above this 25-day moving average. This is the second time we've gotten above the 25-day moving average, so the anticipation would be more upside. This is about 8% away from previous highs. Let's just draw an up arrow right here, since this is definitely the second time we've seen a green 25-day moving average. So let's see if we can maintain that. QUBT, this is Quantum Computing Incorporated, and same thing, move above the 25-day moving average, showing support there. This can move very quickly because this move right here, just back into the gap, is about 100% move. So we could see 100% move here for this. So definitely one to watch and put on your hot stock list. Rigetti Computing Incorporated, another quantum computing stock, holding support at the 100-day moving average. Looking to see if it can move back up again. This can move very quickly, roughly 100% in a short span here. And so we'll continue to monitor this as well on your hot stocks. We'll look at SoFi. So SoFi over time has finally taken off on the performance side of things, and it had a nice, very strong momentum run, stand above the 25-day moving average. Had a couple of dips into that, was not able to get above. It looks like around the $18 or $19 level. Now, excuse me, it is moving down, and it pushed into the 200-day moving average, and now it is pushed back up to the 100-day moving average. So we'll have to see if it can maintain above the 25-day moving average for now and get all the moving averages going in the right direction, as well as the price. But price is most important. It is above and moving, trending to the upside. Again, every day you never know if price is going to go down, up or down. The idea is to get an idea of what the trend is doing. All right. SPY. So SPY has had this breakout. So we were waiting to see, as we had this major pullback in SPY, what was going to happen next. So the first thing was the break of our counter trend line, which we were expecting price to go to the upside. It did do that. And now we're anticipating that it'll move above the 25-day moving average. So we'll continue to watch this. Of course, with the things that we know about tariffs coming out pretty soon, and the VIX, we still have to anticipate that, if we get this move, we don't know if it'll be short-lived or not, but we'll continue to monitor the SPY. TSM, and here you sort of had the downward trend sort of break here. Now it's at the 200-day moving average, so we'll have to continue to monitor this. The issue here is that the 25-day moving average is well below the 100-day moving average and very close to the 200-day moving average. So the question is, can this maintain either above the 200-day moving average, the 25-day moving average remain above the 200-day, or how would that work out? So we really would need price to start to push to really show us something more for Taiwan semiconductors. All right, take a look at XLF. So with XLF, this is the financial sector spider ETF. So if you look at this, definitely we got that positive move up. All our moving averages are in the proper position. We'll continue to move up to the upside. So we'll just anticipate that's going to be another hot pick. Looking at Zoom. Zoom had this nice little run earlier. It did have this major pullback into the 200-day moving average. You got a double bottom sort of formation here. You got to push up above all the moving averages as far as for the price. And the 25-day moving average is green here. Price is above that. So if the price can stay above that, we would anticipate continue to move to the upside here. Let's see how far away we are from previous highs. About 12% away from previous highs. That's a $10 move. Another one to put on the hot stocks list. So that concludes our hot stock list for now.